So you're looking to really level up your language skills, right? To understand what makes language learning, well, tick.
Yeah, we get it. Time's precious, and you want those key insights fast.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing today. We're taking a deep dive into language learning. And our starting point is this really great chat we heard on the English Chat Cafe podcast.
It was this refreshingly natural conversation. Emma, the host, was talking with Alex, who speaks, English, French, Spanish?
And he's tackling Japanese now.
Right. And he was sharing his own journey, his experiences, really practical stuff.
So our mission here is basically to, pull out the best bits from that conversation for you. The actionable strategies, the little surprises, the relatable moments.
Things that can actually help your learning path.
Think of it as your shortcut, your personalized guide to understanding how this all works a bit better.
Okay, so where does it all begin? That initial spark. For Alex, he talked about a childhood trip to Paris. Yeah. And it wasn't just seeing the sights. He described this powerful feeling of wanting to understand the language around him, not just hear it.
Okay, let's unpack that a little because that's huge, isn't it? That feeling.
Definitely.
Wanting to connect, to really get it. Think back, for you listening, what was your spark? A trip. A person. Maybe just fascination with a culture.
Alex's story really shows how that personal drive, that why, can be so much stronger than just, needing it for a job or something.
All right. It keeps you going.
Absolutely. That intrinsic motivation, that connection.
Yeah.
It helps you push through the tough spots, the plateaus.
So how did Alex actually do it? How did he learn? He mentioned a lot about immersion.
Movies, music, books.
He even talked about talking to himself in the language. Daily practice.
Yeah, it sounds like he really tried to live the language.
And what's interesting there is how varied it was. It wasn't just passive, like you said.
Exactly. It was active, engaging different senses, different skills, listening, reading, speaking, even just practicing output by talking to himself. Yeah. It's quite a, comprehensive approach.
Very effective, it sounds like. Now, what about the dreaded grammar?
Yes.
The rules that sometimes feel designed to just, trip you up. Alex had this kind of yes and no view on it.
Right. He wasn't dismissing it entirely. He recognized that you need to understand the structure, the skeleton of the language. But yeah, he warned against just getting stuck doing grammar drills forever without actually using it.
It's about finding that balance then.
Precisely. Grammar's the framework, sure. But fluency, that comes from practice, from actually communicating in real situations. Knowing the rules isn't the same as playing the game well.
Okay, and he also brought up something that holds so many people back. I know it affects me sometimes.
The making mistakes.
Yeah. But his take was really encouraging. He basically said mistakes are, essential part of the process, like stepping stones.
That reframing is so, so important. Seeing errors not as failures, but as feedback.
Like, okay, this is where I need to adjust.
Exactly. It frees you up to experiment, to actually try speaking, which is, crucial for making progress.
So, okay, you're trying immersion, you're maybe tackling grammar, but that initial buzz can fade, can't it?
Oh, definitely.
Alex had thoughts on why people give up. He mentioned not seeing results quickly enough and maybe not having clear goals.
That makes a lot of sense. We kind of expect instant results these days.
True.
And language learning, it's gradual. That lack of obvious quick progress can be really demotivating. And without clear goals, you can feel a bit lost, like you're just drifting.
But he offered a solution. Very practical. Set small goals.
Achievable ones.
Yeah, like ordering coffee or understanding a song you like, and then celebrating those little wins.
Exactly. Don't wait until you're fluent to feel good about it.
So for you listening, maybe your next goal is just learning how to say hello and ask someone how they are. Small step.
Right. It breaks down that huge mountain of fluency into manageable steps. You feel like you're actually getting somewhere. Builds confidence. Like climbing stairs one step at a time.
Okay, let's dive into some of those specific grammar points Alex mentioned finding tricky in English. Conditionals came up.
Conditionals. Especially the third conditional.
Yeah, like, if I had studied harder, I would have passed. That kind of thing. They can feel a bit abstract.
Well, what makes the third conditional tricky is that it's about hypothetical pasts, right? Things that didn't happen and their imaginary results.
So you're juggling tenses.
Yeah.
Past perfect, conditional perfect.
Yeah, it's a mental workout. His other example was good, too. If I hadn't moved to Spain, I wouldn't have learned Spanish so well. It really shows that counterfactual idea.
And then there was the passive voice.
Like the report was completed versus the team completed the report.
Alex felt it was less direct, more formal sometimes.
And that's the key difference. The focus shifts. Passive voice highlights the action or the thing receiving the action, not the person doing it.
Useful sometimes, like in formal writing, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Or when you don't know who did it or it's not important. But it can feel less natural for learners used to the active subject-verb-object way of speaking.
He also rattled off a whole list of other grammar things. Present simple, continuous, past simple, present perfect.
Modals, other conditionals, indirect questions.
Comparatives, infinitives, gerunds. Wow. It's a reminder of just how much grammar is involved.
It is. And while we can't go deep into all of those now, it's good to remember each structure has its own job, its own way of adding meaning or nuance.
Like past simple versus present perfect, that always seems to catch learners out.
Right, because it connects to how we see time, whether an action is finished or still relevant now. Right. Lots of subtleties.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. Alex's view on English difficulty was interesting.
What stood out to you?
Well, he found pronunciation and spelling really tough.
Understandable.
But he thought the grammar was, relatively speaking, more straightforward than languages like Russian or Arabic, with all their complex endings and cases.
That's a great point. Difficulty is subjective, isn't it? Depends where you're coming from. English grammar might seem simpler in some ways, but then you have the spelling chaos and the huge, messy vocabulary drawn from everywhere.
But what did he like most about English?
The flexibility, how much you could express, and the idioms.
Oh, the idioms, yes. Those quirky phrases like break the ice or piece of cake.
We use them without thinking. But remember that story he told about his student?
Trying to literally kick the bucket.
Exactly. Hilarious, but it shows how confusing idioms can be if you take them word for word. You need the cultural context.
Absolutely. It's that deeper level of understanding beyond just the words themselves.
Semantic opacity, they call it. The meaning isn't obvious from the parts.
So wrapping up his advice for beginners, for someone just starting out, what were the key takeaways?
He really emphasized starting small. Focus on useful, everyday phrases first.
Don't try to learn the entire dictionary on day one.
Right. And listen actively. Really pay attention. Don't be afraid to speak, even with mistakes.
We keep coming back to that, don't we? Embrace the errors.
Crucial. And finally, avoid that comparison trap. Don't measure your progress against someone else's. Everyone's journey is different.
That's such solid advice. Gradual, build confidence, communicate, focus on your own path.
Okay, let's try and bring our deep dive into Alex's insights from English Chat Cafe together.
We've touched on the power of that initial spark, the benefits of really immersing yourself.
That balanced view on grammar, the need to just accept mistakes as part of learning.
Setting those small, motivating goals, and navigating the, let's say, colorful quirks of English, like idioms.
And when you put it all together, Alex's experience really underlines that learning a language is, well, it's personal, it's ongoing.
Fueled by your own reasons, kept going by effort, and being willing to try things out and learn from slip-ups.
And celebrating your progress along the way, however small it feels.
So for you listening, here's something to think about. What was your Paris moment? What first got you curious about language?
And thinking about the things we've discussed, the strategies Alex used, what's one small, concrete thing you could do, maybe even today or tomorrow?
Could you pick one new phrase to learn and actually try to use? Or maybe just set aside 15 minutes for some really focused listening practice, something achievable.
Yeah, find that small step to reignite the spark or just keep your journey moving forward.